Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. I've got Wilfred Oban. I decided to take the shirt today on the show. Welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV.
Mr. Fasha, a very wonderful Monday evening to you.
Okay, let's start from the Nigerian Premier Football League, NPFL. Ahmed Musa, some persons might say he's lamenting for that loss over the weekend in Nasarawa against Nasarawa United at the Lafia Township Stadium. But it is what it is. He's actually calling for referees reform after that loss to Nasarawa United. He felt the referee didn't do enough. A lot of abnormality, some kind of officiating that need questioning in that game. Coming in for Ahmed Musa, who has played in Europe. He has played on the biggest stage in football. He has made some of the best referees in the world. They have officiated the game he played in. So he's actually calling for referee reforms and in the Nigerian Premier Football League after we've seen this league witnessing a lot of changes.
If such a comment is coming from somebody with that huge experience of Ahmed Musa, who don't forget, this is the third spell with the Nigerian Premier League. He was with Kano Pillars before he moved to Europe, and then came back and played with them, and then went back and then still came back, and then this is third time with
Kano
Pillars. So one area we always emphasize on strongly is the officiating. It has greatly improved, but there's always room for improvement. And if you notice there's some lapses that needs to be worked on, I think it's a good one. But I mean, he has been part of the system. This is where he was brought up, so he understands how sometimes the system functions. Where the home team must go home with something matter. So, but it is what it is.
Okay, it has changed. Looking at the Nigerian Premier Football League, most especially this season, a lot has changed in the league.
Yeah, I think so, because judging from the away results, you see teams picking, vital points, sometimes even having the whole point to themselves, as a visiting team. You should know that, the officiating has improved a lot, has improved in the league. But, it's not something that we just have to relax and say, okay, no, now the referees are doing well. It's something that we have to, it's a continual process, something that the referees, the management has to, work around the clock to ensure that, we meet the global standard.
Okay, in some of the games for match day 9, shockingly, Bendel Insurance lost at home. If we can have that result, the MPFL game match day 9 result, the one in the morning, if we can have that result back so that we'll look at it. But Bendel Insurance lost at home to, I think, Katsina United 1-0. They were beaten 1-0 at home. And now for Bendel Insurance, that was the only away game though in match day 9. It has been ever since the deputy governor left, that team has not really been performing very well.
Yeah, the situation with Bendel Insurance can be likened to that of Lobby Stars. Sometimes it makes one to begin to believe that these results are actually more administratively than they are on the pitch of play. But also that also gives an answer to Ahmed Musa's comment. If a team like Katsina United can come all the way from the north and secure 3 points away to Bendel Insurance in their home ground.
I think it's Abia Warriors, Katsina and Niger Tornadoes played 1-1. Oh. So Abia Warriors were the one that defeated Bendel Insurance 1-0 at the Samuel Ogbemedia Stadium. You can see the result on the screen. And we have Heartland beating Remo Stars 1-0. Nasarawa United, the game we're talking about, where Ahmed Musa is complaining of some kind of officiating in that game. Plateau United beat Sunshine Stars of Akure. And the tough one, the two teams that have not lost this season, Rivers United and Ekanemi Warriors, sharing the points in Port Harcourt.
Yes, football sometimes is like a game of, it's like throwing a dice. You roll your dice, and then the 90 minutes determines if you're going to have double six or have zero. Ahmed Musa was the same person that demolished, Rangers right in their home crowd, in Enugu. And then today is the same person lamenting that the officiating away to Nassau United was not fair to them. But then that is football for you. And sometimes people come out to express their grievance, especially when the result does not go their expected, ways. And for Ben Insurance to lost at home to a team like Abia Warriors, you should know that everything is quite improving. It's fast improving the league, and we must commend the management and organizing the body.
Okay, that is Benga Legbeleye and Cohen Davis in Oweme doing what they know how to do. Let's quickly look at the MPFL games that are ongoing right now. Two games are ongoing, one at the Ilorin and the other one is at the same Lafia Township Stadium. But the game in Ilorin is 77 minutes of action. 1-1, Kwara United against Enugu Rangers. Abrahim Shola giving the home team the lead. In between a space of 1 minute, Madufuro Kingsley level things for Enugu Rangers, 43 and 44. Those goals coming in for both teams. So it's 1-1, and then the game between Lobby Stars and Bayelsa United is 2-1. The two teams are struggling. For Martin Osi put Lobby Stars ahead in the 22 minute. They got then at the 30th minute, Ibrahim Yahya leveled from the spot for Bayelsa United, and then Martin Osi getting the second goal in the 57th minute. That game is in the 67th minute of action, while Kwara United is against Enugu Rangers is 1-1, 78 minutes of action. So two games to complete match day 9 in the Nigerian Premier Football League.
For a team like Lobby Star that struggling is at the bottom of the log, and struggling at home, you should know that the fight is really tough, and there are no underdogs. There are no visiting teams anymore. Every result must be acquired according to the level of hard work put in. So I just wish them all the best.
Okay, we wish them all the best. We will give you the updates of that games before we go on the show. We'll keep tabs. 78 minutes of action in Ilorin, while 68 minutes of action right there at the Lafia Township Stadium, close to the FCT here. All right, let's move away and go straight to Togo Lomé. Yes, the team started slowly, and now they are into the final. The first target is for them to pick the under-20 AFCON ticket. They've picked that by beating Cote d'Ivoire 2-0, and now they will be facing the young stars of Ghana in the final. It's going to be a big one. Now let's go to the other side. Ghana Jollof and Nigerian Jollof. Which one are we going to serve on Wednesday?
It is going to be a battle of supremacy, to know who is actually the truly king of Jollof as far as West African countries are concerned. And then for Flying Eagles, I think they've done wonderfully well. They started slowly, as you say, that it was quite slow for them, losing, that on 1-0 to Burkina Faso, and then going ahead to, defeat Cote d'Ivoire
and Niger,
and then now in the finals, it shows how much the team has improved. For me, when a team fails to get a required result, I always say, you can always pick some positive angles and work towards it, for your subsequent, encounters, and then that's what the team has been able to achieve, and we can see the practical, input of what they've been able to learn from their previous, results, and I think the boys are working around the clock to ensure that they bring the trophy back home.
Okay, to bring the trophy back home. That finals is bid for Wednesday. Let's quickly have a look at the update from that camp. The Flying Eagles, they had their recovery session this morning after their 3-1 semi-final win against Niger Republic on Sunday. That was yesterday. The morning session lasted for 1 hour. Coach Ali Zubeiru and his assistants actually were on ground to supervise the section. 19 players in total took part in this session, with Sabiu Ibrahim on the sidelines. The midfielder is still nursing an ankle injury he sustained during the 2-1 victory against Cote d'Ivoire. The Flying Eagles will now battle external rivals, our neighbors Black Starlets of Ghana, on Wednesday in a bid to defend the title they won 2 years ago. And then the Flying Eagles, along the Black Starlets of Ghana, will take part in the under-20 AFCON come next year from the West African region. 19 players trained today, with exception of Sabiu Ibrahim, who is out injured. Let's quickly look at that game come Wednesday. these are ever-present foes when it comes to football. The Black Stars of Ghana, the Black Stars of Ghana, they are the Black Queens, whatever, against Super Falcons. So it has always been a rivalry. On Wednesday, what are your expectations? I
don't know what is this about, the Ghanaians and Nigerians and South Africans, but then we always, there
find a way
and then there are several ways, systematic ways of, settling such, conflict. Sometimes you don't go physical, you go, with a lot of diplomacy, and it's what we're going to do, come, on Wednesday, because I know that for Coach Duberu, this is the first time that he's been, saddled with such a huge responsibility to guide a team like, Flying Eagles that's got a lot of, expectations from a lot of fans across the country and Africa at large, So he is going to, go out to ensure that the boys, didn't end up disappointing, because he wants to build his CV, he wants to build his profile, he wants to put his name in the good books of Nigerian football loving fans and to his employers, the NFF. So I think the boys are not going to disappoint at the end of the day.
Okay, the boys will not disappoint at the end of the day. That game will come up on Wednesday, the finals of the Under-20 WAFU B tournament. Let's see if the Flying Eagles can defend that title they won in the Niger Republic. All right, let's move away and go straight to the continent. Libya, this matter is still ongoing. As we speak, Libya to appeal CAF judgment. If we look at it, the Libyans are doing all they can. They are going to court of arbitration for sports.
There's always a judgment with leniency, so I hope CAF listens to them, but that does not mean that they are going to escape the basic penalty that they have to, because this is actually going to serve as a deterrent to any team that is willing, any of the nations that is willing to indulge in such a inhuman act. You cannot treat a fellow sport person like in such a manner that they did to Super Eagles right there in Libya. So even if CAF is going to listen to them, no problem. I mean, the law has a way of doing things. They've passed their verdict, and if they say that they are not satisfied, they have to go against, have to appeal. Let them appeal, but then let's see what comes out at the end of the day, because the entire world is watching. It's not about Nigeria or Africa. I mean, the entire world is watching, and football is a game that unites. It's a global game, not just in Africa, not just in Nigeria. So whatever decision end up standing at the end of the day should be in the benefit of football, not just for Africa. Okay,
benefit of football. If you ask me, if they actually appeal that, if I have the opportunity as a CAF executive board, because the president cannot take that decision, he has to consult with his executive member at the disciplinary committee, I will increase that sanction. Okay, let's leave that story and go straight to Europe quickly. Let's start from the Serie A. We'll look at the other leagues in the morning, but let's look at Serie A this evening, where games were played, and one man who we are rooting to win the African Footballer of the Year put up another 5-star performance for Atalanta. But the next day, let's start from that particular result where Maduka Okoye was in goal, kept clean sheet against Cagliari 2-0. They beat Cagliari. Torino 1, Como 0, and Napoli also beat Lecce 1-0. Atalanta hammered. Okay, that was a mix-up. Atlanta actually won that game 6-1 with Ademola Lookman scoring 2 goals and also having a brace of assists. There 2 goals, 2 assists in that game. Parma and Empoli played a 1-1 draw. Lazio 3-0 against Genoa. Monza 2-2 against Venezia. Inter Milan and Juventus 8-goal thriller. 4-4 it ended, and Fiorentina hammered Roma 5-1 in that game. All right, for Atlanta quickly, Ademola Lookman, with all of this performance, no doubt, I think he deserves to win the African Footballer of the Year.
From the onset, when I saw Ademola Lookman's name on the list, I know that it was a well-deserved, nomination, because the young man has proven, beyond expectations, with his club in Europe, lifting the Europa Cup with his, Italian Serie A club, Atalanta, and also coming to the Nations Cup with Super Eagles doing wonderfully well, in front of everybody, proving that yes, whatever we saw him play in Europe was not a fluke. So I think he deserves where he is today, and then to further prove that whatever he is today in the game is not a fluke. I mean, he keeps breaking records and breaking limits every day. So for me, I think it's going to be a very good one if he ends up having the crown the African King at the end of the day.
Okay, crown the African King. Now let's go straight to the German Bundesliga. Also, Victor Boniface, who was involved in a car crash. He was on ground after he was rested in the Champions League game against Brest of France, but he came back and got a goal. Though it ended on a draw affair, but he was on the score sheet. Mainz and Borussia Mönchengladbach played the 1-1, Augsburg 2-1 against Borussia Dortmund. Leipzig 3-1 against Freiburg. St. Pauli and Wolfsburg played a goalless draw. Stuttgart beat Holstein Kiel 2-1. Werder Bremen and Bayer Leverkusen 2-2, where Victor Boniface scored in that game against Werder Bremen. Bochum, 2 times they actually lost their lead, that is for Bayer Leverkusen. Bochum were hammered by Bayern Munich 5-0. Union Berlin and Eintracht Frankfurt played a 1-1 draw. Hiddenheim and Hoffenheim ended on a goalless affair. Hem and Hoffenheim. I think the 2 teams have the last letters in their name ends the same way, EIM and EIM, and they actually settled for a goalless draw. But if we look at it quickly, in 10 seconds thereabout, for Victor Boniface, who was involved in a car crash, there's no better way of coming back to the game and now seeing your name with a goal.
Yes, the incident actually sent a lot of shock to most of us, that are around him, because he's a guy that wants to win. He's a guy that wants to fight every day. He's a guy that wants to play, and then seeing him being left out of the team against, in the match against Brest, it was
Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League in a very important game as that. It was a very ugly one for us, indeed. But then we're all glad that he came back and he made a case for himself by registering himself on the score sheet. So we just hope he continues whatever form he is right now.
Okay, he was actually rested from the team because just precautionary measure after that accident, so that he could be psychologically and mentally ready for the next game. And he had injury, just a scratch on the hand, and it's good that he came back and justify his inclusion in the weekend's team. All right, let's go straight to Ligue 1. Yes, it was not a good news for another Super Eagles player in that league, but he keeps churning out performance. That's why his team lost. But it was a good outing for Moses Simon, who plays for Nantes. They lost at home away to Strasbourg 3-1. Olympique Lyonnais and Auxerre played a 2-2. Montpellier lost at home to Toulouse 3-0. Nice and Monaco, it was 2-1 against Monaco. Olympique Marseille lost to PSG 3-0. That's table toppers PSG. And Gaz SCO beat Saint-Etienne 4-2. Reims won Brest 2. Lens lost at home to Loxley 2-0. And Rennes beat Le Havre 1-0. Let's quickly have the table. Though we didn't look at the table of the German Bundesliga, but let's look at the table of the French Ligue 1, and we will bring back the table of the German Bundesliga quickly, so that before we go on the show, PSG are topping the table with 23 points, as Monaco is second with 20 points, and we have Marseille on the third position with 17 points, Lille 17 points, Brest 10th with 13 points. Let's just go to the flip side of the table. We have Rennes, Nantes, Auxerre, Toulouse, and Gaz, Saint-Etienne, Le Havre, and Montpellier. All right, the big news this afternoon, we will leave that league and go back to the EPL. The big news this afternoon, I know Manchester United fan, I had one of them who said they will go and do Thanksgiving, saying yes, Erik ten Hag has finally been shown the exit door from Old Trafford.
For me, it's not coming as a shock. Rather, it has been a news, long overdue. So I think they got fed up, and they both have to part ways. Whether mutually or however means. But then I think the team needs a new atmosphere, because if you look at Manchester United, it's a team with a huge history. With a well-respected locker room with a lot of trophies and everything. And then you come in, you say, okay, you need some time, and you need quality players. They get these players for you, and then in the end, nothing reasonable is being achieved. So I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's about time, it's about trophies, it's about winning. And then when a team wants to give you time to work, and you don't give them what they want, I mean, I think it's also very important that they take the decision which they just did. And I think not just to me, but to the entire United fans, we wish Erik ten Hag best of luck in the subsequent endeavors.
Okay, best of luck. I wish we can quickly have that record of Erik ten Hag among all the managers after Sir Alex Ferguson. It would have been nice for us to see the winning percent ratio of Erik ten Hag. Despite the games, he had a good winning ratio, even better than Ralf Rangnick and the likes of all right, that is what we'll be leaving it on the show this evening. Erik Ten Hag, well, bye-bye to Old Trafford. Let's see his next job. For Van Nistelrooy, he will be on an interim basis. That is why we'll be leaving it on the show this evening with Fred. Thanks for coming on.
His experience with Manchester United will teach him a great lesson, and we hope he comes out better again.
Okay. All right, that is why we'll be leaving it on the program this evening. Thanks for coming around. I am Emmanuel Fashion. We say thanks for watching.